Hey, welcome to the Weekly Wave. Picture this. You're holding a balloon. Bright, beautiful, floating gently above you. At first, you're just admiring it. But then, a thought sneaks in. What if I lose it? Suddenly, your gentle hold turns into a white-knuckled grip. The balloon is still there, but the joy is gone. That's attachment in a nutshell. Fear disguised as love. We need to start with this. Attachment is not the same thing as love, or caring, or connection. Love is expansive. Love is giving. Love says, I want what's best for you. Attachment, on the other hand, says, I need you to stay exactly as you are, because without you, I can't be okay. It's the difference between enjoying a sunset and demanding the sun to stay frozen in place forever. One brings peace, the other brings suffering. Most of us don't even realize we're attached until something shifts or something changes. In relationships, it sounds like if they leave, I'll fall apart. In careers, it sounds like if I don't get this promotion, I'm worthless. In identity, it sounds like if I can't be who I used to be, then who am I? Attachment latches onto people, possessions, routines, even the stories we tell ourselves about who we really are. And it tricks us into thinking these things are the ground we stand on. The danger is that all of it is temporary. People change. Jobs inevitably end. Identities, over time, evolve. Life shifts. And if your peace is chained to something temporary, your peace becomes temporary too. So why do we cling so hard? If we know change is inevitable, why do we act like we can outgrip it? The answer is fear. Attachment is rooted in fear. Fear of loss, fear of emptiness, fear that without this anchor, we'll drift into a void of nothingness. But here's the paradox. By gripping so tightly, we create the very suffering we're trying to avoid. We don't enjoy what we have because we're too busy fearing its absence. It's like clenching a fist around sand. The harder you hold, the faster it inevitably slips away. Another layer of danger is that attachment gives us the illusion of control. We like to believe that if we just hold tight enough onto people or jobs or our routines, we can stop life from changing. But change is, like I said, inevitable. It's the only thing that is guaranteed in life. Clinging doesn't stop it. Clinging just blinds us to the beauty of the moment that we're presently in. Now, here's where people often misunderstand. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean becoming cold or detached or uncaring. That's not freedom, that's just numbness. Non-attachment is different. Non-attachment is the ability to love fully without clinging, to care deeply without necessarily controlling, or to enjoy something while it's here and gracefully let it go when it inevitably changes. It's like holding a butterfly in an open palm instead of just pinning it to a board. Even psychology backs this up. In childhood, we develop attachment styles, secure, anxious, avoidant, that shape how we connect to others. But even in adulthood, attachment shows itself. Anxious attachment makes us cling, terrified of being abandoned. Avoidant attachment pushes people away to prevent that risk altogether. Non-attachment, though, is the middle path. It's the middle ground. It's secure. It says, I want you here, but I'll survive if you're not. I love you, but I don't own you. I enjoy this, but it doesn't define who I am. The signs of dangerous attachment are subtle, but they're there. You feel panic at the thought of losing something. You compromise your values just to keep it. You feel empty when it's not around. And most of all, you start to define yourself entirely by it, whether it's a partner, a possession, or a title. When your identity becomes fused with it, you're at risk. Because if it goes, you feel like you go with it, and you go too. And the cost of that is steep. Attachment steals your freedom. It makes relationships heavier than they really need to be. It turns goals into obsessions. It makes change feel like death. And worst of all, it blinds you to what you already have. Instead of enjoying the present, you're constantly fearing its loss. You never taste the meal. You're just guarding the plate. So how do we loosen the grip? How do we enjoy life without being trapped by it? It starts with just overall awareness. Listen to your own language. If you often catch yourself saying, "I can't live without this," pause and ask yourself, is that really true? Or have I just convinced myself of it? Then remind yourself that identity is not your circumstance. Say it out loud if you really have to. I am not my job. I am not my possessions. I am not my relationships. These things shape your life, yes, but they don't define it. They don't define who you are. Another practice is like overall gratitude, without possession though. Enjoy things without needing to cage them in. Love people without needing to control every move. When you can say, "I'm grateful for this right now," without changing it to forever, then you're free. You did it. And beyond that, prepare yourself for change, not with dread, but with open arms. Change is life's only constant, death and taxes. If you accept that, you stop being blindsided by it. Here's the irony though. When you let go of attachment, you don't lose. You pretty much gain. You gain peace, you gain resilience, and you gain the ability to love more deeply because love isn't tangled up in fear anymore. You care better, you live lighter, and overall, you breathe easier. Think about it in your own life. Haven't there been moments when you've thought, if I lose this, I'll never recover? And yet, you did. Maybe not overnight, maybe not easily, but here you are, watching this video right here, right now. You're still standing, you're still breathing, stronger, softer, maybe a little scarred, but alive. And that's the proof. You're more resilient than your attachments. The danger is that they make you forget that. They convince you that peace is out there somewhere in what you hold, when the truth is it has always been inside. So here's the takeaway that I want you to gain from this video. Love deeply, work hard, enjoy fully, but hold gently. Because permanence is an illusion, but presence is real. Nothing is ever guaranteed in this life. And that's not a reason to panic. That's the reason to cherish. If nothing lasts forever, then every moment becomes more valuable. Not the opposite. The less you cling, the more you can actually enjoy. The less you grip, the more life flows. The point isn't to stop caring, it's to stop fearing. To trade grasping for grace. To let go, not because you don't love, but actually because you do. So loosen the grip. And remember, life isn't about keeping. It's honestly about experiencing. And the more you open your hands, the more beauty you can hold. Thank you so much for listening.